Hey, can y'all hear me? Hopefully y'all can hear what I'm saying. Let's see. I see a few people already in here. Hi, Jan. Hi, Brenda. Let's see. So your question, Jan, is I have a drawing tab. If you have a drawing tablet, can you take someone's handwriting and make it into your own font? Yes, there are ways to make your own font. I'm not exactly sure how to do it, but there are ways to do it. If you look, I got a big old burn on my head. I took and learning to use a curling iron and touched my forehead with it. So hopefully y'all can see and hear me good. Hi, Carlos. So you're from New Orleans. There's several people in here from Louisiana. If you can tell, everything's kind of changed behind me. We are upgrading lighting and things like that. That's why the videos didn't go up yesterday or on Friday. I got in the mood to rearrange and change everything up and got busy. Your big SAG packs. What are you talking? I'm not sure what you're talking about. SAG packs. Let's see. Do I sell HTV by the big rolls? We are fixing to start offering bigger rolls on the website. I need to do a hair bow tutorial. Yes, I have that in the plans. I also have like the stretchy headbands in the plans, doing legs and pants and all that fun kind of stuff. Okay, so SVGs. Okay, so the SVGs, Christian, if you look in the description box, there are links for craft bundles, Love SVG. I have affiliate codes with both of them. I also do the Hungry JPEG sometimes, and then we also sell a lot on our website. Would you? Sorry, I'm a slow reader whenever they're going fast. Yes, Amy, if you become a Patreon supporter, you will have access to all of the other files. They're all listed in post. So you just click on the link on that post and you can download it. It's very easy to do. Okay, so Christy, you ordered the holographic. You laid the shiny side down. Did it move on you, or and what setting are you cutting on? Because you lay that colorful side down onto your mat. I'm not sure how it messed up. Did it not cut all the way through? Yes, Chris, you can put hot fix rhinestones on top of HTV. Oh, I'm glad you love your pick, Christina. No, Tina, the hibiscus anchor kit or anchor file isn't for patrons. It is actually available on our website. That was one I designed a long time ago. You had it on vinyl, HTV vinyl. You may need to cut it on. It didn't cut all the way. So you may need to cut it on your glitter settings. I always do a test cut whenever I'm testing out a new material. Thank you, Erica. No, I typically don't try to cut it without the mat. To me, it seems like it would wiggle a little bit too much, but I mean, I'm going to be testing out a lot of things. Let's see, you're trying to put on rubber. You may be able to do HTV on that. I haven't done rubber before, but I know like with the Apple Watch bands that are silicone, not silicone, they're silicone. You can take and put HTV on those. When are you going to have another awesome sale? We are going to be doing some big stuff whenever we hit 100,000 subscribers, and we are very, very, very close. Yes, Becky, we are going to be adding big rolls to our website soon. For the hibiscus anchor, it is so tall, I wouldn't, it kind of depends, but typically I keep the same size design no matter what size the shirt is, unless someone wants to pay extra to have a bigger design. Okay. What is a Patreon supporter? Okay, so if you're not familiar with what my Patreon page is, it is a support page. It helps fund all of the stuff that's behind you, like the lighting and all that fun kind of stuff. And we give, for the $1 a month supporters, you are automatically entered into the scrap box drawing that is for patrons only. So the pool is a lot smaller for that. The $4 a month gets all the SVGs that are on the page, which we do a monthly SVG plus a new Disney SVG every week. $10 a month, we do shout outs, and you get all the previous levels with it. And then the $45 a month, you get the kit that goes along with whatever SVG is out that month. So like for this one that's coming up for April, we're going to do the tutorial for the autism tutorial shirt tomorrow. The SVG is already up on the Patreon page, so we'll be doing the full tutorial on it, since April is Autism Awareness Month. Let's see. Thank you, Sherry. Hi, Joy, all the way from Indiana. Yes, you can use SVGs with Silhouette Business Edition. You just open them up. It's very, very easy. You can use SVGs with all versions of Silhouette besides the basic edition. So if you even upgrade to just the designer edition, which is I think like $50, you can use SVGs with it. We do carry some printable vinyl. We are going to be doing some tutorials over it. I am testing out 3 different vinyls right now for home printable use. So we're playing around with it. Yes, I changed my hair, so I might be a little bit, look a little bit different. Let's see, are the SVGs on the $4 Patreon? Can you sell products with them on it? The regular monthly SVG, yes, you can. Those are ours. We created them. There, you can sell anything that is licensed, such as Disney. You cannot sell. I can give them away on Patreon. You can make them for yourself or personal use, but we will not. You cannot sell that. You were going to get the Easter Disney design up on the second channel on Friday. And the last week's crafting for Disney, I've already posted that SVG. It's going to go up on Thursday. I just, between rearranging and trying to get everything reset up, I didn't have a chance to film on Friday or Monday. I worked all weekend resetting everything up. Yes, we do have a bundle with a t-shirt guide, easy weave and pick, and Teflon sheet. It is the HTV tools kit. So it has black, white, Teflon sheet, t-shirt guide, pick, and I think a couple of other things. So it's a really good deal. Hi from El Paso. You're from Puerto Rico, Wanda. I love the islands. Yes, we do ship to Puerto Rico. It is, and I don't think that's considered international shipping. I'm glad you like getting the kits every month, Jeannie. Hopefully my personality comes off of these as being a little bit down to earth. I can be a little high strung sometimes, but you know, I am who I am. New Mexico and Anaheim, California. I will be in your area in May. Irma, I'm going to be in Anaheim. We're going to Disneyland. My sister-in-law has an accounting conference in California, so we're going to go to Disneyland for 2 days. So that's going to be fun. Okay, so Stacy, if you go to our website, which should be linked down in the description box, www.cuttincornersvinyl.com. You can go there and look under kits, and it should be under there. Another good place for SVGs, Geek SVGs. I haven't seen that, but I do need to go look over at Geek SVGs. I'm glad you like the one for autism. Autism support has a very special place in my heart. If y'all did not know, my middle child, Caden, he has Asperger's, which is a form of autism. Okay, so for left and right chest, EJ, do you have your t-shirt guide? That's what the bars are on there for. And I do have video over using it to do left chest. Do I still carry the Steady Betty? We don't sell the Steady Betties in store, but you can order them through steadybetty.com, and I think they have them on Amazon. And my Steady Betty that I use is a 15-inch by 24-inch. A light went down. It's okay. We'll fix it in a little bit. Trying to get all this stuff set up, and it is so much work. Throckmorton, Texas. Where is that? Well, yes, in Patricia, you can change your Patreon support. If you don't want to do the $45, you can lower it to the $4. You can change how you want to. That's all easy to do on Patreon. Now, I don't have any control over like the refund and all that kind of part of Patreon, but they have a great support team. Yes, specialty materials is the main types of HTV that I use. I prefer that quite a bit over Caesar. I like the way it washes better, and I feel like it holds up a little bit better. So for weeding vinyl, Cricut, or Cameo. Okay, so it kind of depends on what you are wanting to do. Both Cricut and Cameo are both great machines. It just depends on how in-depth you're wanting to get into designing it. So it kind of just depends on what you're wanting to do. I have both. I use my Cricut more, but I don't design in Cricut. I'm used to designing in CorelDRAW. I'm glad you love the file, Tina. Let's see. Well, you don't have to have a heat press. The Cricut Easy Press works fine. Using a home iron, you can do it. I have a video on how to use your home iron to make sure you get enough pressure. That's an older video, but it's a good one. And it shows you how to do it. So if you have the 15 by 24-inch Steady Betty, I would get the 15-inch t-shirt guide. Do I use the deco foils? Sometimes, and we are adding a lot of new products all the time to the website. So between Abilene and Wichita Falls, so North Central Texas. That's awesome. So yes, I have worked with stretch, and it typically depends on, I don't use a lot of stretch material. Typically when I'm making something that needs to be stretched, I will, like if I'm putting it on like one of the rib tanks or something like that, I'll stretch it beforehand and place the design on it, and then you don't really have to use a stretch material. But if you're doing like super spandex, like bodysuits, those types of things, you would need a stretch material. Yes, I do have a couple of videos with CorelDRAW, and I'm going to do more. Yes, Pam, I do have a video using the Cricut doing faux leather earrings. Are the deco foils permanent? No. Over time, they will wash off. They have, I think, about 20, 25 uses for the washing. Let's see. Small details cutting on print and cut. That kind of just depends on what material you're using. It depends on the brand of the printable. Sometimes it can be a little bit funky. You may need to try different settings, maybe like a washi tape settings on a nylon swimsuit top. Okay, so nylon, there is special material that is made for nylon. We don't have it on the website yet because not a lot of people work with nylon. You have to heat it at a lower setting. Let's see, Elizabeth Vera, what is the best transfer tape for printable vinyl? I have it listed on my website. My favorite kind, it has a backing on it so you're not wasting. It is really, really good. Do you use stretch vinyl for putting on the bottom of socks? It seems okay. So the video I've done previously on socks, I used regular glitter HTV. I took and stuffed the inside of the sock with my Teflon pillow, so it stretched it out to what the width of a foot would be, and then put the HTV on there, and it worked perfectly. Let's see. I'm glad you like my headphones, Shadow Warrior. They work well. They have a microphone built in, and it helps where I can hear, block out the noise of everything that's going on around me. Let's see. Okay, so Paula, what machine are you using? And Misty, we sell the Teflon pillows on our website. One of the girls that works for me hand makes them in the shop. She's absolutely amazing. So I'm glad you weed like a pro. It makes, I mean, people get so scared to weed the vinyl. It makes it, it's really not that bad. At least I don't have an issue with it. You just can't be scared to mess with it. I mean, and sometimes you're going to make mistakes. Heck, if y'all watch me for a while, you will definitely see me make mistakes. Okay, so the washi tape setting on the Cricut Explorer is, I think, like the first or second dot. It is very, it's a light pressure. And a lot of times with some of those printable vinyls that are for home use, they're super thin, so you may want to check cutting it on that end, maybe setting your pressure to less instead of more. You know how you can change that, so check that out. Let's see. I'm needing wedding idea videos. We're getting up on wedding season. We will definitely be doing some wedding craft tutorials. So something different. Let's see. Yes, the Teflon pillows can be pricey, but you may need to make sure you're using the right type of foam inside if you're trying to make them yourself. I'm not exactly sure what it's made out of, but you have to have something that is heat resistant. Yes, we're going to do some Easter craft tutorials. I actually went to Dollar General the other day and found these awesomely big Easter eggs, and they were like $4. So I got that. So we're going to be doing Easter baskets, you know, the normal for Easter. We love holidays. And so it makes it fun. I love doing all the personalized things for my kids, and it's just fun. I mean, as you can see, I kind of like to have a lot of stuff around me. I'm glad you told people about my videos, Becky. See, and I remember you've actually came into the store quite a bit. Let's see. Okay, so you're making your first shirt. How do you know how big to make an image? Okay, so standard adult size shirts, typically your design is going to be 10.5 inches wide. Now, sometimes you may have to change it depending on the height because you don't want to make the shirt 20 inches tall and 10.5 inches wide, but that's typically your standard adult size. 8.5 to 9 inches for kids, 6.5 to 7.5 for toddlers. You're so welcome, Debbie. Yes, you can do adhesive on the helium balloons. I've done it before. We did it for one of our parties, I think when we hit 75,000 subscribers. Okay, rhinestones, do you like using them for shirts? And if so, what kind do you like using? Sometimes I like using rhinestones. Rhinestones were super popular for a long time, and now that it's not as big as it was. So I haven't played with them in a long time, but Hot Fix makes some really, really pretty rhinestones. And I have a rhinestone wand to place them individually. And then you can also get like the felt stuff to be able to make your own rhinestone transfers, which I do plan on doing some tutorials over that. Let's see. Yes, the Chameleon vinyl bundle is stunning. Those are so gorgeous on shirts. I absolutely adore the chameleons. Oh, I'm glad you had some. We have some great girls working for us. I'm glad they were able to help you. Well, thank you. Let's see. So you're from Pennsylvania. Let's see. Shannon Buxton, you're welcome. But yeah, I actually enjoy doing these live videos. I think to me, it's a little less structured, and we get to kind of hang out and get to know each other a little bit better. And it makes it fun for me to be able to actually interact a little bit more with all of y'all. Okay, so you're doing the printed transfers with your Easy Press. Now, what type of vinyl are you using for the home printable? Because there typically are instructions included with it to tell you how high to heat it. And definitely, I always use a Teflon sheet. I need a shiny vinyl for boys. Okay, so the metallics are awesome for boys. Things like that look really good without putting glitter. Yes, all of our files are for commercial use as well. So you can use, if you purchase a file from us, you can use it for commercial use. The only things that are not commercial use are Disney designs, and if we do anything else, like, because we're going to be doing some Harry Potter designs and things like that. Well, I'm glad you were able to join us today, Pam. So I'm not sure exactly what time it is over in the UK, but I'm glad that you were able to join us. So Renee, you're from Florida. What part of Florida are you from? We're going to be back in Florida in September again. 10:30 at night, so not too bad. I stay up a little late too. Typically, I try to go to bed early, but that so far hasn't worked in a long time. I'm glad you enjoy our employees, Debbie. We are definitely, I'm very, very lucky to have such a great group of people working for me. Yes, we do have a chameleon bundle. No, Fatima, I think that's how you say your name. No, I'm not mad. But yeah, the bundle, it has all 6 colors with it. Let's see. So you're from Central Florida, so we'll be driving through that part. We typically, oh, so you're in Dubai right now. It's 2:25 in the morning. Maybe one of these days I'll actually get to visit Dubai. So far, need to go out of the country. Let's see, the print works. Okay, so did it include any instructions with it, Kelly? Awesome. I'm glad you were able to get it all figured out. Yeah, international ordering is so difficult, but we have so many of y'all that love us that are from other countries that's why we decided to add the international shipping options. So I'm West Virginia. It's a beautiful, beautiful state. I'm glad I'm able to help you out, Jacqueline. Yes, it is good for my channel to get a lot of likes, and it's also good for y'all to interact on the videos. It helps y'all see things more. So your son works at Disney Studios as a cook. Which park and which restaurant does he work at? Let's see. From Jersey. I have never been to Jersey. There's a lot of places I want to visit that are on my bucket list. Indiana. Never been to Indiana either. I have been all over the South. And all the way, I've driven pretty much the entire length of I-10 from California to Florida, been all over, but north, not so much. We are wanting to get more into traveling, but I mean, we've always been, kids, things like that keeps you busy. And plus, starting a business, and it makes it very difficult to travel. Okay, so I do have a video on doing jerseys. Now, jerseys, the only thing that I can tell you that you really have to worry about if you're doing something special with jerseys is if it's dazzle cloth. So that super shiny material that like a lot of football jerseys are made out of, you want to take and spray it down with alcohol before you heat press on it. It helps it like you'll spray it down with alcohol, dry it under your press, and then heat it again, and it will make where your HTV will adhere better, because you can get kind of like how you clean a sign with alcohol beforehand. You want to take and make sure you treat your dazzle cloth with it. I am doing more tutorials with the silhouette. I'm trying to equally space them out. Now, a lot of the videos you will see for like the Disney designs and the monthly SVGs, I just use the Cricut. It's easier. But when we were actually doing tutorials, I'm trying to do the same tutorial for all three machines. Any special tips for dry fit athletic wear? Nope, it presses, polyester presses beautifully. I love doing dry fit shirts. And Cameron, if y'all have watched for a long time, y'all have seen him on videos. That is one of his favorite types. And let's see, the best way to cut a solid black Minnie Mouse and a bow in a separate color. I do have videos with the Minnie Mouse silhouette. We have several of those on how to set it up to cut. It kind of just depends on if you need the background of the black behind the bow or not. Yes, removing HTV with an iron definitely does work. Okay, hold on. We got a block. Okay. So we got Professor Foxtrot out of here. We are planning on doing some off the mat tutorials as well on the Cricut and the silhouette. There are so many tutorials we have planned. Let's see. Hi, Paris. So Greenville, South Carolina. I love South Carolina. Let's see. Yes, sometimes you got to be careful. You get people who are not the nicest in these groups, and you definitely want to make sure to kind of keep track of all that. I need to get a moderator when I do these. Sublimation. Sublimation I haven't played with in a while. We are maybe possibly doing it again. We'll see. Yes, and SVGs do work on the scan and cut. You don't have to have any special software to do it. Okay, so if it doesn't say any special settings, I would probably do it about 300, 330 degrees to test it. Let's see. Daytona Beach. I love Daytona Beach. I love Florida in general. I love the beaches there. Especially my husband, whenever he was in the Navy, was stationed in Pensacola. So we absolutely adore Florida. What is the best program to, let's see, hold on. There we go. I use CorelDRAW. You can also use Adobe Illustrator, Inkscape. There are several different programs you can use to design SVGs. Oh, thank you. Some of them I create myself. Some of them I have an artist that creates. Typically, it's just kind of whatever comes to mind. So a lot of them, it's just playing around with. Romania. That is a long way away. Okay, so for heat press, I generally heat at 330 degrees for 15 seconds. Houma, Louisiana. Alabama. Let's see. Let's see. I am fairly new. I'm trying to watch as many of your older videos, but sometimes it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. Can you recommend any tips for beginners? Play. That's the best thing I can tell you to do, is just play with your machine. Test things out. You know, I wouldn't have learned I could put HTV on wood unless I just played around and seen if I could do it. Yes, we are going to be doing some Beauty and the Beast. We definitely, if you don't know, Belle is my favorite Disney princess. Let's see, hold on. Okay, so we had to get rid of someone else. Let's see. Atlantic City, New Jersey. Awesome. Moana, yes, we do plan on doing some Moana. Affordable heat press, do you recommend? Okay, so if I have a review on it, we have the Power Press from Amazon. It's about $185. It is a great machine. It is a 15 by 15 inch heat press. Great. Let's see. What is the most affordable? Is CorelDRAW free? Okay, so no, CorelDRAW is not free. You can buy the student home version at like Office Depot, I think, for $119. Inkscape is free though. Okay, so you have a tough time weeding. Okay, so it depends on what you were actually weeding, if you're weeding adhesive or heat transfer, and if you're cutting deep enough. Because if it's cut deep enough, weeding is really, really a dream. It's not difficult. Hi from New Zealand. Have a terrible time buying vinyl supplies with reasonable postage. Yes, we are hoping to get better international shipping rates. Shipping internationally is so difficult. And I know a lot of times y'all have to pay taxes, import taxes on things when they come in, which is terrible. but hopefully we'll be able to get some better pricing for shipping internationally. And especially New Zealand, Australia, places like that, it is more expensive to ship to than England. It's just kind of the way the world works. I'm glad you have our tools, Linda. Hopefully you are enjoying them. Do I recommend Corel Draw? I do recommend Corel Draw. I've used it for many, many, many years. I started using it whenever I worked in the screen print world. It was a great way to create EPS files, which are encapsulated PostScript files, which is the same kind of thing as an SVG, which that stands for scalable vector graphics. Those Adobe Illustrator, Corel Draw, EPS, those are all vector graphics. And the difference between that and a JPEG is JPEGs, like a photo that you take, if you blow them up, they get pixelated. Like an EPS file, if you stretch it out, you will never see the pixels. It's a mathematical equation that creates that. You're so welcome, Jen. How old am I? I am 35. I will be 36 in July. So in my mid-30s. Have 3 kids. My husband, we've been married now. It will be 17 years this September. Newport News. Yeah, I feel like it's my prime. My husband and I, we had kids young, so now that our kids are getting older, it's kind of fun. Let's see. Yes, I do have a video on using HTV on mugs. Would I recommend Adobe over Corel? Okay. So that is kind of like one of those personal preference things, whichever works best for you. Adobe is pretty expensive, and I think you can only do it yearly now. And I think for just Illustrator alone, I think it's like $300 a year. And with Corel Draw, it is $119, and then you can take and upgrade it if you want to. But you can take and use it as long as you want. How do I measure for logo on the front of the chest? Pretty much I keep everything the standard 10.5 inches. So Caroline from South Australia. My husband, whenever he worked in the oil industry, was over in Adelaide and absolutely loves Australia. He wants to make a plan for us to go back over there because he thinks I would love it. And the gentleman who owns Specialty Materials, he is from Australia. Adobe CC Creative Cloud has a student version for $20 a month, which gives you access to Photoshop, Lightroom. Great if you do photography stuff too. So yes, but the thing is, like, if for a student version, you have to have a student that is in high school, middle school, or college. And a lot of times they do ask for verification with either a school email address or things like that. So you have to be careful with that. How do I feel about Inkscape? Inkscape works. It's a little buggy sometimes. So that's my issue with it, because it is an open source software, so people can go in and change it every time. So that's where we have issues. How would I ever open a storefront in Oklahoma City? We have talked about opening other locations. And I do love the great state of Oklahoma. I lived there when I was a child for several years. I've lived in Henrietta, which is a teeny-tiny little town. Also lived in Tulsa and Oklahoma City. I've been to Lake Eufaula. I am from Nederland, Texas. Well, I'm glad you think I'm patient answering questions. I really do try to answer as many as I can. Okay, so is there a way to make vinyl a little bit more permanent? Okay, so you can do epoxy over vinyl, but it's a difficult process. You do need a cup turner, things like that, but that will make it where it is a little bit more resilient. #1 raw is identical to Adobe Illustrator. I haven't ever used that program. Let's see, Georgia, love Georgia. Do they use special rhinestones? No, you can get rhinestones at a lot of different places. The Hot Fix rhinestones, they sell them at Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's. Harwin Street in Houston is a great place to go get them. Epoxy, I haven't really worked with epoxy yet. I do plan on working with it, but there are so many other tutorials that I am working on first. There's so many things to learn and to teach y'all as well. I mean, and that's what I'm still learning on several of the machines. Like the scan and cut, I've done a couple of tutorials on, but the scan and cut, I don't know that well. I'm working on learning it better. But yeah, I mean, there's always going to be something new and always something fun to learn. I'm glad you like Craftsmas. We are definitely going to be doing Craftsmas again this year. Okay, so to use the leftover HTV after the plastic has been removed, typically with the regular HTV, I don't mess with it because it's hard to do this with, but with glitter HTV, get you a hole punch, and you can get all kinds of decorative ones like butterflies and Christmas trees and snowflakes. You can pop out, use your hole punch to make designs with, and you can take and add them to shirts that just have lettering. It is so super cute and super easy to do. Epoxy is awesome. I love it for cups. See, I've seen so many people do it, and I am interested in it, but it's like another thing to have to set up and learn to play with. But I mean, I love special cups. I mean, you've seen me do cups a ton. Hi, Liz. But yeah, so that's how I feel about it. I do want to learn it. If y'all saw, like with my New Year's resolutions, the things I'm wanting to do, I'm wanting to branch out into some different crafting, more than just vinyl. I want to learn some paper crafting and things like that as well, because this is like so much fun to me. Awesome, Melissa. That I definitely will do. What is the best recommended HTV brand? That is personal preference. My personal favorite is Specialty Materials. Now, for the first probably year or so, year and a half on our videos, we mainly stuck with Caesar because Caesar was the popular one and everyone wanted to use Caesar. But I like the look of Specialty Materials better. The Thermoflex Plus, it's a true matte finish. I feel like it washes and holds up better. I used it for many years before I ever even touched Caesar vinyl. Caesar has really great social media marketing, and they hit the craft market. So most people will say Caesar's their favorite, but mine honestly is Specialty Materials. They have a ton more colors, and I just like the look of it, and I like how it washes better. Let's see. Can you use a 651 vinyl on an umbrella that is being used indoors? Well, yeah, you can use 651 on a vinyl umbrella that is being used indoors. You can use 651 on a lot of different products indoors. That is what, if you look at vinyl that's up on the wall, that is 651 vinyl. It's been up there for a very, very long time. I don't use 631, which is the removable version of the Oracal, because in our heat and humidity, we don't have very many cold days, and we are by the coast, so it gets hot and it's extremely humid. If you've ever visited Orlando, then it's pretty similar to our weather. It doesn't stick, it just rolls right off. So I have to use a permanent adhesive if I'm wanting to put graphics on the wall. Plus, you peel it off. Sometimes if your paint hasn't fully cured, it might mess up your paint. Touch it up, do something else. You have the 9-inch easy press. Would you use the 9-inch ruler? Well, it depends on what your pressing mat you're using. If you are using a 9-inch pressing mat, then yeah, I'd go for a 9-inch ruler. But it just depends on the size of your pressing mat. Patreon, talked about it a little bit more. I do have a full video on it, but there are different reward levels. We have a Patreon only scrap box drawing, the SVGs that we do monthly for the $4 or more a month. So there are different levels. And I mean, we appreciate all the support that everybody has given us through Patreon and through YouTube. It's astronomically amazing. Like, I can't even describe that there are this many people who are interested in hearing what I'm saying. I mean, that's just nuts to me, because whenever you're from a small town, I mean, our town is 17,000 people, you don't expect to have the kind of numbers that. What is your fave? Was specialty materials? Yes, my favorite is specialty materials. Yep, keep entering in, and you can always do the $1 a month Patreon. There's 700 and some odd patrons right now, so your chances are a lot more likely that you'd win over there. So it's definitely a whole lot of fun. But we've been on this for about 46 minutes. I guess I'm going to cut it off here. Remember that we will do another live video next Tuesday, so get your questions ready, or if you just want to chit chat and kind of like we did today. And let me know, comment down below as well if you're wanting to see a new tour, because I just did one recently and then changed everything up. So as you can see, we added a lot of new lighting to take and make the whole video quality process a whole lot better. So yes, you can send your questions in advance. You can either email me, Facebook message me, post a comment on the Facebook group. If you don't follow me on Facebook, I post there a lot. I try to post on Instagram, not as often as I should. But yeah, but I guess that's it. So check out all the social medias. Follow me on my second channel. We do makeup, we do keto, we do lots and lots of fun stuff over there. But I'll see y'all later. Bye.